sec because I think it's out again.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the pre-show before the free show. I'm Greg. That's the currently indisposed Ashley Pickle here on this episode of the show. She's leaving the studio. Like, the door is open. Anybody could come in right now. You, valued viewer, could come in right now. Today is a special day, and it's not just because it's a football Friday here on week 9, or football Thursday of week 9 of the Texas high school football season. It's not just that, although that's a big part of it. It's not just that the sun is shining across the state of Texas. No. Today's a special day because 8 years ago today, this show started. Today is the 8th birthday of Texas Football Today, nay, DCTF Live. We've been doing this for 8 years. Can you hear me? You got me?
Can you hear me? That's the big question.
What a great
Let's
question.
see. There we go.
What about now?
It works.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm back.
Yeah, so I was just telling the people, Pickle, that today's our 8th birthday.
It is.
TFT is 8 years old. We've been doing this for 8 years, 1,675 episodes. Which means, by the way, 1,675 divided by 8, that means we're doing 209 episodes a year.
That's insane.
Considering the maximum we can do, if we were to do every single weekday, is like, what, minus 104? 356 minus, or 356, or 365 minus 104. 365 minus 104 is 261. That means we basically just take like 50 days off a year. That's too many shows, I gotta be honest.
And like a good portion of that is like, oh, we're at state championships
Or holidays.
But I mean, think about how many times we're at 7-on-7 during the week. We're at coaching school during the week. We're at all of that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Well, there's only one thing we can do on this here episode of the pre-show, and that's to continue the tradition of cold calling Max Thompson. Of course, the original producer of this show. There's a 0% chance he answers. I want to make sure we're setting the expectation here.
One day I'm going to actually need him to answer, and he's not going to do it because of this BS.
There's no way. 0% chance. Absolutely not. Because he's not watching, but like he's just not going to answer the phone.
Well, he's also going to recognize what time it is.
Oh, yeah,
Your call has been
see.
I'm going to turn it off before before it reads out his phone number.
Yeah. There was no chance that was going to happen. In fact, you're probably going to get a text message like right now just says like, nope.
Loser.
Nope. Not going to happen. Anyway, figured we'd give him a call, see if he would answer the phone, which predictably he didn't. But yeah, we've been doing this bad boy for 8 years.
That's wild.
We've had 3 different studios. We've had,
yeah.
I suppose, I'm trying to think of the number of people who've sat in that chair. Max,
Me
Mallory,
and Mallory,
you. I've sat there.
You have sat there.
So 4? Is that the final total?
Yeah.
4 producers. We've had guest hosts before.
Yeah.
You know, we had a guest host run.
And that's the only time that you've been in the producer seat.
So not Max.
Oh, I figured he'd text you and was like, shut up.
Be like, no. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. If you think about it, and this is a generous estimation, let's just say that each episode averages 30 minutes, which is very, very generous, right? That means that we have done 34 and a half days.
Jesus Christ.
Close to 35 days.
Well, and one of those, the 1000th episode, was a 7-hour episode.
That's right. That's the thing. And like, right now, we're probably averaging about 40 minutes a show, like during the season, and then probably half hour during the off season.
It used to be like 110 on Mondays.
Mondays used to be real beefy before we kind of
structured, yeah.
What I'm saying is that we have spent a significant portion of our lives doing this show.
I was going to say 34 could probably be rounded up to closer to about 40. I would say we've done about 40.
I'm comfortable. I'd be comfortable saying that we've done this show for 40 consecutive, like 40 days worth of time.
Yeah, that's over a month. That's stupid.
Which is just really makes you question a lot.
Yes.
Anyway, happy birthday to
Happy
TFT.
birthday.
Happy birthday, little buddy. We did it. We did it. Hit the theme, Expo. Pickle! Hit the arrow sign. Yes, yo! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today. The show that's blowing out the candles. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the places, or you're listening to us in the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the longest tenured producer in this show's history. She's the Duchess of the Dork. She's Ashley Pickle.
Talk about making you question your life. Every time you say that, that's what I do.
It's true, though. It's true. I'm the longest tenured host in the show's history.
Yeah.
Right? Today is Thursday, October 19th, 2023. 35 days to Thanksgiving. This is serious. Let's get serious for a moment. Can we, barrel down?
Yes.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's all we've got. I want you to think about, what's the average life expectancy in America right now?
Oh, goodness.
Let's just say 79.
Yeah.
I'll pick a number, right?
That seems high. That seems very high.
Okay, let's say 75. Say 75.
Still seems high, but okay.
Well, just say, for the sake of argument, we're going to move on, Pickle.
57.
Stop. 75. That means you get 70. Pickle. That means you get 75 Thanksgivings.
Lucky.
Okay? Don't waste it.
Correct.
Start your planning now. Get your house in order for Thanksgiving. It's 5 weeks from today.
Yes.
Happy birthday to not only Texas Football Today, but also our Texas Football Today's, or I'm sorry, not just, maybe she's been on Texas Football Today. Has she? TFT?
Who?
Jenny Netherland?
Mm.
I know she's been on WTF.
Yeah, because the reason she was on TFT was because we called her brother Cal Netherland and had a legitimate coach's conversation with him, and then I patched in Jenny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. TFT and WTF Zone, Jenny Netherland. Happy birthday to her, turning 29 today. It's episode 1675. On today's show, folks, Pickle doesn't have a laptop.
I was trying to figure out how to look at the comments on my phone on YouTube, and it's not working. So you have to pull it up and ask or say who's first for.
Oh, I do?
Oh, actually, I have another idea. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds here.
You can do it on the computer. That's how I do it.
That's what I'm trying to do right here.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
On today's show, folks, we got the top 10 Texas high school football games of the week in Week 9, Texas high school football season. We'll be joined by the head coach of the Paradise Panthers, Coach Joe Koch, will be joining us here in just a moment. And then the Week 9 picks, my predictions for Week 9 of the Texas high school football season, all that if you stick around with us. Now,
I found
Pickle left her computer at home.
And I don't know how to function.
And she's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Literally.
Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was jersey number 69, big jiggly water balloons. Boy. What a shame it would have been to miss this one. Tony Blaylock and Aaron Arbuckle, welcome in, fellas. I know those are fellas.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that.
100%.
Because chicks rock, too.
Chicks do rock. That's the first time you've ever said that. Why don't we have a Chicks Rock Chick of the Week?
Would you like to start it?
No, I have enough on my plate. We can just rock without recognition.
Wow. Somebody, sounds like somebody, to borrow another phrase, doesn't have that dog in them.
That's fair.
Anyway. It is time for Week 9 of the Texas high school football season. We've now reached the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Week 9, Week 10, Week 11. It's only 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, by the way, like half the team's season, over. Going to be blowing up basketballs.
Oof.
Oof, indeed. There are massive games all across the state, many of which you can watch live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. You go to TexanLive.com. But, Pickle, we might as well roll out my picks for the top 10 Texas high school football games of the week. Take a look at this bad boy slate. We will start in Brock, in Parker County, as a top 10 matchup in 3A Division I, as the Paradise Panthers visit the Brock Eagles.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
You're darn right. We're going to talk with Joe Cook, the head coach of the Brock Eagles. The Paradise Panthers, coming up here in just a moment. This does feel a lot like it was last year, which was Brock got off that slow start because of a brutal non-district schedule. But since then, they've really gotten their wheels back on. I think the emergence of quarterback Brody Woods has been a big game changer for them. Paradise, 8-0, looking fabulous. And they've been exceptional defensively, giving up about 6 points a game. Their quarterback, Austin Iglesias, has been a star. This is a huge test, and for Paradise, this would represent, I think, a program-shifting win if they can go on the road and beat Brock. This is a huge, huge game. It was a close game last year. They won another shot at them, and they're getting it tomorrow night, live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, Paradise and Brock. Top 10 matchup in 3A Division I. Then, let's go to Thursday night. Tonight.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
In Stephenville, as the number 7 Stephenville Yellow Jackets welcome in the number 4 China Spring Cougars. Technically, I don't know if you can call it a neutral site. It's at Tarleton.
Yeah, it's not a neutral site because Stephenville plays all their home games there.
Yeah,
until they build their new stadium.
Yeah, so Stephenville welcoming in China Spring in a top 10 matchup in 4A Division I. What the heck do we make of China Spring? Because they are, on one hand, extremely explosive offensively with quarterback Cash McCollum and company. They've been excellent. Their defense does leave something to be desired, and I do wonder if Stephenville, with Ryan Gafford and company, can take advantage of that. Tate Maruska, the running game. This is an interesting game because Stephenville's defense, it does feel like a code switch here because last year, China Spring had the superior defense. This year, I think there's an argument Stephenville does. Mm-hmm. And last year, I think the offenses were about even, but you would be within your rights to say that Stephenville had the better offense, I think.
I think that's flipped, too.
I think China Springs have the better offense.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating game, and I know the Dave Campbell's Texas football crew is going to be rolling deep out there in Stephenville.
Yeah, we're excited. The other thing to keep an eye on here, too, is just the fact that, China Spring just got done with an absolute, they won, but it was just a heart-wrenching game that I'm sure took so much out of them against Waco La Vega. How are they ready to go for a second week? Not only a second week, but on the road, on a good road trip this week.
What's the mental toll? What's the emotional toll of that La Vega game, right? Can they bounce back? They've been really good at it because they played some close games before and come out hot. Now they got to go on the road to take on a very good Stephenville team. Keep an eye on that one tonight. And look on the sidelines for the Dave Campbell's Texas football crew.
We'll be there.
They'll be there. Then, let's go to Houston as a District 21 6A showdown between the Sheldon CE King Panthers and the number 7 ranked Humble Atascocita Eagles.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Let's talk a little bit about Atascocita, a program that is off to a 7-0 start, and this feels like this. The reason I put this on here is that this begins the gauntlet for Atascocita. They're 7-0, and they got to win over Katy, and they got to win over Dickinson, but now it gets really, really serious for Atascocita because they close out the regular season, right? They close it out in consecutive weeks. CE King, at North Shore next week, and then home to Summer Creek. Okay? You want to talk about FAFO, right? Mm-hmm. We will find out about Atascocita in this 3-game stretch. I have been really impressed with what they have been able to do offensively. I think that their offense has got this really nice balance to it that I'm interested to see exactly how this plays out. Quarterback Zion Brown has just been terrific for them, and I want to see what happens when they go up against a CE King team that I think is going to be playing with a little bit of urgency here, right? 6-1, 3-1 in district play, but they still have to take on Summer Creek next week. A team that their offense has been kind of hit and miss. At times, they've looked fantastic. A lot of it comes down to whether or not their quarterback, Darius Clark-James, takes care of the football. When he takes care of the football, they're really hard to beat. But if he's putting it up for grabs, it's going to be difficult. Going up against a good Atascocita defense, fascinating game live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Then let's go to Fannin County, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Warrior Stadium in Honey Grove, as the unbeaten Honey Grove Warriors welcome in the number 5 Cooper Bulldogs in. I called this on Tep and Step, the rent's due game.
Yep.
Okay?
Correct.
Because for Honey Grove, we've talked about them a lot. Honey Grove is the most interesting team in Texas.
I could agree with that.
They are fascinating. They've outscored their opponents 320-3.
Sure.
But have they played anybody?
Not
Their best
really.
win is probably either the season opening win over Howe, who's 3-4.
Yeah, or the last week.
Or I mean, I would say the district opener against Alba Golden, who was undefeated.
Yeah.
Maybe the Sims Bowie game. The Sims Bowie's a 2A.
Yeah,
like
that's
another 2A. So I don't know. This is by far the biggest test.
Oh yeah.
Because we know what Cooper's about. We know what Cooper's about. They're going to line it up and run it at you with Markel Smith and Cannon Ingram. One thing I will be keeping an eye on. Obviously, Honey Grove has not given up a touchdown this year. Cooper's okay kind of getting in the muck and playing in like a low-scoring slugfest. Like they're okay with that. Who's got more in the tank? Cooper's had to play a fourth quarter. Honey Grove has not played a competitive fourth quarter. Does that matter in this game? Massive game. It's the find out game for Honey Grove, most certainly. Then let's go to just outside. It's like technically in Belton. Mm-hmm. It's a weird split because like I think the stadium's in Temple, but the school's in Belton. Anyway, at Lake Belton as a critical District 4 5A matchup between the Lake Belton Broncos and the Midlothian Panthers.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Oh my gosh, what?
It just keeps happening.
What I love about this game is that I can sell it to you easy or I can sell it to you deep. Here we go. Here's the easy sell. 2 5-star wide receivers. That's it. You got Micah Hudson on the Lake Belton side. You got Bryant Wesco on the Midlothian side. You got a Texas Tech commit, the number 1 prospect in the state of Texas in the class of 2024 in Micah Hudson. And you've got another guy who many places have as a 5-star prospect in Bryant Wesco, the wide receiver at Midlothian. I don't need to sell you on this any more than that. However, if you dig deeper, it gets even more interesting because District 4 5A is a real slugfest. Everyone's chasing Red Oak at the time right now. Lake Belton's got a heartbreaking loss to Red Oak. If they beat Midlothian, they can set up a potential 3-way tie if Midlothian can beat Red Oak. Really interested in this one. Midlothian and Lake Belton. Go for the fireworks. Stay for the district implications. Then let's go 7:30 p.m. Friday night to Hardin County in Silsbee as the number 2 unbeaten Silsbee Tigers welcome in the number 7 unbeaten Hampshire Fannett Longhorns.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
What? I can't believe it.
Correct.
Top 10 matchup, undefeated. One of only 3 matchups of undefeated across the state of Texas. We're going to talk a lot about it in the picks, so I don't want to spoil it. Draylen Miller's the headliner here for Silsbee, but they've also got Ashton Cartwright. Their quarterback, Michael Moshier, has been great. They run the ball pretty well, Trey Kibbles. This is up to the Longhorns front to get pressure, to make sure that they do not hang their secondary out to dry. That's what I'm watching in this game. Keep an eye on that one. The other thing about this, Silsbee has dominated this series. They've won 11 straight against Hampshire Fannett, and you know the Longhorns want a piece of them. Fascinating game on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Then let's go to the Austin area. Big game, maybe flying under the radar down across the state, as the Dripping Springs Tigers at 5-2 welcome in the number 11 ranked Lake Travis Cavaliers.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
It keeps happening. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Huge game, District 26 6A. And this catches my attention because of what Dripping Springs did with Westlake last week, which was a 14-14 game going to the fourth. Westlake kind of did what Westlake did, which is like score, stop, score, and the game was over. But Drip hung with them.
And I think this is absolutely for seeding.
Oh, yeah.
Between 2 and 3.
Oh, absolutely. Now, well, here's the difference. The problem is that they are likely to go 2 different divisions. But if you're Drip, you can feel, if you get this win, you feel really good about locking up that number 1 D2 seed. And for Lake Travis, this is huge just, I think, for confidence moving forward. The computer, I won't go on TexasFootball.com and see the computer projections. Computer's got Drip winning this game by 4.
Wow.
Okay? Keep an eye on this one. Watch this space. I think Drip's defense is for real. And that's something that I think is going to challenge a Lake Travis offense that has that at times has had trouble getting out of first gear. Keep an eye on that one. Then let's go to McKinney. 7:30 p.m. Friday night in McKinney as the number 2 Longview Lobos visit the McKinney North the McKinney North Bulldogs.
Live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
You're joking me.
We got them all.
You're joking me. McKinney North is one of the more underrated teams in the state. They've got 1 loss on the year, and it's to a pretty good Justin Northwest team who's 6-1 by a field goal. Like, hang around. This team is pretty fun, and recently their offense has ignited. Their offense has been a lot of fun to watch recently, specifically because of what they've been able to do on the ground. I think that the McKinney North ground game has really gotten going of late, and that is going to pose a challenge for this Longview team. Who's look, here's the sell on this. They've already lost in this stadium, right? They've already lost in the stadium. They lost in week 1 at McKinney. So what happens now? Like, this is a really intriguing matchup that I want to see. A lot of this comes down to Andrew Tutt, the quarterback for Longview. Can he kind of open up some holes, keep the defense honest for this Longview team, keep the defense honest to allow Taylor Tatum to cook? Fascinating game this one, and can McKinney North find some sort of traction against what has been a very good Longview secondary? Keep an eye on that one. Then let's go to Central Texas for a big-time 3A clash. And I think we'll talk about this in a second, but I think a real test for the number 1 team in the state as the number 1 Franklin Lions welcome in the Lorena Leopards in a really intriguing matchup in District 11 3A Division 1. Franklin's undefeated. Franklin's riding the state's longest winning streak. Franklin's the number 1 team in 3A Division 1. Also, best win over Jasper?
Yeah.
Right? Best win over Dieball? Here's the test. Here's a test against a Lorena team that came out of the gates slow, losing to China Spring, and then they lost to La Vega. But since then, gotten their wheels back on, and I think a lot of it has been that they figured out exactly how to deploy their various weapons. They have moved. Remember, they moved their quarterback Jackson Generals out to wide receiver. They've got Caden Roberts playing quarterback, and Jackson Generals has really settled in as a nice threat on the outside. I believe they've got Jaden Porter back. I believe the star wide receiver is back for them, but the real star for them has been Braylon Henry, their running back, who's been excellent. 16 touchdowns on the year. You know what you're getting with Franklin. You're getting great defense, and you're getting a snoot full of Jaden Jackson and kind of a variety of different weapons. They have started to diversify their attack, and that is very troubling for opponents. Keep an eye on this one. Lorena and Franklin. We'll find out a lot more about the number 1 team in 3A Division 1 who, we talked about Columbus a lot last week, right? I think staked their claim as the number 1 team in the state. What does number 1 have to say about it? Keep an eye on that one. And finally, let's go down to the coast. The biggest game in Corpus Christi this year as the undefeated Corpus Christi Miller Buccaneers welcome in the Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial Patriots Eagles, rather. Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial Eagles. I always get Veterans Memorial. I'm telling you.
Every single time.
It's because they're American. 6-1 on the year at Buck Stadium tonight at 7:00. This one is really intriguing because I think we need to throw out our priors. Coming into the year, our thought on Corpus Christi Vets was, they don't have it this year. They're going to be doing some reloading. Like they're going to be figuring out exactly what they are. They've got too many pieces to fill and stuff like that. And I think we were within our rights to think that. But give them credit. And Ben Bittner, that dude knows how to coach, man, because he has got them rolling right now. This sophomore quarterback, Billy White III, has been spectacular, and they have a ton of weapons, including Christian Sabsuk, on the outside. Now they get a test against a Miller team that I think was more of a known commodity coming into the year and has certainly looked like it. Jaden Pelucio, their quarterback, has been on fire. Or I'm sorry, Trevor Long, their quarterback, has been on fire. He's been fantastic all year long. They've gotten a really nice running game as well with Broderick Taylor, and they have so many weapons on the outside. Their receiver core legit I feel like they can go 5 wide and feel like they've got 5 real, tangible, dangerous options on the outside. That's how dangerous this offense is. So as usual, this game will come down to defense and who can come up with big plays. I think the Miller defense is taking a step forward. Can vets find those stops they need in a really fantastic matchup down there at Buck Stadium in Corpus Christi, the biggest game. And obviously, we'll have like the full field set for what the 5A Division I Region 4 looks like with PSJ North, Edinburgh, Vela, Vets, and Miller after tonight. So, fascinating game there. There they are, the top 10 Texas high school football games of the week. You can watch a shocking number of those on Dave Campbell's Texan Live and see a shocking number of them with whip-around coverage on Dave Campbell's Texas Football tonight. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. on Texan Live, Twitter, and on YouTube. Make sure you check that out. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll talk with the head coach of the Paradise Panthers, Coach Joe Koch, about his unbeaten Paradise Panthers. But first, these ads.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose. Come on, get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. Bustin' loose when you wanna sing. Bustin' loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bustin' loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Pickle, let's go to the hotline. Number of big games across the state of Texas. Maybe the biggest one is going on out there in Parker County as the Brock Eagles welcome in the undefeated Paradise Panthers. And here to talk about it is the head coach of those unbeaten Paradise Panthers, Coach Joe Koch. Coach, how are you? Coach, you got me? Oh, let's try again. And hey, Coach, you got me? Hey, Coach.
Hey, Greg, this is Kendall Brewer at McKinney North. Are we on the same line here?
I think so. Hey, Coach, let me give you a call back.
Okay.
All right, thanks. That is bizarre. Okay. This is live television, folks. 8 years in, we can't figure this thing out. Yeah, you know what? Give Coach a call back. I think did I text the wrong coach?
Possibly.
Let's go ahead and give Coach a call. Give Coach Brewer a call, and I will mock up a graphic for you. Although you don't have a computer, so we'll get McKinney North. Let's go to the hotline. Oh my gosh, this has never happened before. I think did I get the wrong Coach Brewer?
Yes.
All right, I think we got you now. We're joined by the head coach of the McKinney North Bulldogs, Coach Kendall Brewer. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for your time. How are things in McKinney?
Oh, things are great. Weather's beautiful. Had a good practice this morning, and we'll have our sub-varsity games tonight. So things are going well.
You guys, I have to imagine that there's a lot of excitement around there at McKinney North right now with the game coming up tomorrow night and everything that you guys have got good. Is there a sense of buzz around McKinney right now?
Oh, I think that, there's people that are excited, and anytime that you can be having fun like we've been fortunate to experience so far through the season, everybody likes to be a part of that. And so, yeah, there might be a little bit of a buzz.
You guys are off to a fantastic start, 6-1 on the year, and I want to do what coaches love to do, which is talk about losses. You guys, back in week 2, you guys took a real gut check loss to Justin Northwest. I'm interested in, but since then you guys have been on one of the hottest teams in Texas. What do you feel like you learned from that loss to Justin Northwest back in week 2?
Yeah, we said it coming out of that loss that was one we needed to lose. It was an opportunity to grow. It highlighted some areas that we were falling short as coaches, as players, and it showed us what we needed to address to be successful going forward. And that was one we needed to lose. Coach Poe out there does a tremendous job. I have a ton of respect for him. He's got a great program year in, year out. And, when we play them every year, it's always a battle. I think our series record is split over the past eight years or so. And, you hate to lose any of them, but that was a good loss, and we've definitely grown because of it and gotten better from it.
Well, one of the guys that I think it's hard not to notice the growth that you've seen has been your quarterback, Colin Hitchcock, a guy who I think first and foremost, and I know this is priority one for every coach, is taking care of the football. And has really grown in the offense. As the guy who gets to see him in practice every day, what is it about Colin Hitchcock that you've seen grow that has made him so strong for you guys recently?
Yeah, it's just really a confidence factor. I mean, Colin's a 3-year starter for us, and he knows our system inside and out. We've got great players around him, out wide at the receiver spots. We've got a strong running game, strong offensive line, good tight ends, and he's very confident and really takes control of the offense and at times takes control of the game. And we're really proud of how far that kid has come and what he's been able to do. And we're excited about what he's going to be able to do for us down here in the home stretch too.
We're talking with Kendall Brewer, the head coach of the McKinney North Bulldogs here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. All right, Coach, the other really impressive, you guys had a number of impressive victories, but I go back to last week, going on the road to Lufkin to A, a long road trip, and B, a notoriously difficult place to play, and you guys were able to pull away with a victory. What kind of win is that for you guys, not just heading into the rest of the season, but for this program as a whole?
I was just real proud of top to bottom, just kind of our grit and our resolve in that game. We obviously had the long road trip, and that is a very tough place to play. Lufkin is a high quality team. Coach Quigg does a great job with those guys, and there were times in that game where we made a mistake or things weren't going well, and we just kind of refused to be denied, and we found ways to make plays when it counted. And we had a toughness factor about us that even when the odds were stacked against us, we were able to find a way to get it done and come out on top. And I think that that's something that can help push you through some of these tough games that we're going to have here in the back half of the season. We're going to be able to lean on some of that stuff when we're playing for all the marbles.
You're in your second year there at McKinney North, and the first year you guys go 7-4, bounced in the first round of the playoffs. You took over from Mike Fetchie, who moved into a leadership role. I am curious to know now, kind of halfway through your second season, what do you know now about this job that maybe you didn't whenever you got the big chair last year?
Besides
gosh, everything,
man, I could go on and on about that. I don't know. Coach Fetchie left this place in great shape, and I was extremely fortunate and blessed to be able to come in to a situation like this. And there's a lot of things that you can't learn until you're sitting in the seat. And a lot of times you can try to have a plan for everything, but something's going to fall in your lap that you hadn't even thought of yet at times. And I think just kind of if you have a belief system and whatever else, then you're able to handle things and make decisions that you feel are right. And you're not always going to please everybody, but you can try to do right by people and do right by kids and coaches. And, that's kind of how I try to handle stuff.
Finally, Coach, tomorrow night, what's coming to town. Longview is coming to town, the number 2 team in the state, and they're coming to your barn. I know it's going to be a fun atmosphere out there. I don't want to ask you to give away what your plans are tomorrow night, but when you take a look at what you're going to be up against tomorrow night with Longview, what do you see?
The thing that's so special about them to me is just the consistency that they have. I mean, year in and year out, they're state caliber competitors. They're always at the top of all the rankings, and there's a lot of people that have good seasons here and there, but Longview's in there in that discussion year in and year out, and that's what's most impressive to me. They're going to test our fundamentals. They're going to test our toughness and our grit, and I'm really looking forward to it. I know that our kids and coaches are excited about the opportunity for them to come in town and to get to compete against them. We're hoping and expecting it to be a good game, and we're fired up and ready to get it on tomorrow, 7:00.
7:00. Be there at McKinney ISD Stadium, because there's going to be one of the biggest games in the state as the McKinney North Bulldogs welcome in the Longview Lobos, and with head coach Kendall Brewer on the sideline. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on all your success so far, and go get them tomorrow night.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. There he goes, Kendall Brewer, head coach of the McKinney North Bulldogs, just like we planned.
110%.
I'll tell you, as I was thinking about that, here's what I think happened.
Okay.
I had 2 ideas to book a guest yesterday. Joe Cook at Paradise and Kendall Brewer at McKinney North. And I texted Coach Brewer, obviously, and I said, hey, Coach, can we get you on? It's like, yeah, fantastic. And in my head, I was like, great, I just booked Joe Cook.
I was like, yeah, I called the number that you gave me.
You called the number that gave me, and it's like, yeah, it's great. But as you can tell, we want to talk with Coach
yeah,
Coach
absolutely.
Brewer. Like, that's why I booked him. It is a huge game tomorrow night, and I think a real opportunity for them to they can. I would not be a shock if they beat Longview. I think they're underdogs, but I don't think it would be a shock, because there's a Longview team that I think is better at home. If this game were in Longview, it'd be a different conversation, I think.
Yes,
but getting them at home is huge. And they've already faced down tough opponents, right? They played Lancaster. Like, they played Lufkin on the road. They're battle-tested. That Colin Hitchcock's a star. They're running the ball well. Defense is playing pretty good. Keep an eye on that game. Longview and McKinney North, live on Dave Campbell's Texan Live tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's right. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbells, and, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Pickle, can I tell you a little bit about our friends at TxDOT?
Please do.
The TxDOT Road Show Game of the Week is the Road Tour is rolling into Laredo. tomorrow night. Dave Campbell's Texas Football is proud to partner with TxDOT this season as they roll the TxDOT Roadshow into some of the biggest Texas high school football games across the state. Be sure to look for the TxDOT Roadshow at the game, where fans can participate in VR experiences, interactive video screens, quizzes, giveaways, and much more. TxDOT reminds fans to be careful on the road and follow the speed limit, slow down when there's heavy traffic, road construction, or bad weather, and always buckle up. They're going to be out at the Bill Johnson Student Activity Center in Laredo for Laredo United South and Laredo Alexander. A really important game in District 36A. For Alexander, they're feeling really good. 2-0 in district play, wins over LBJ and Eagle Pass. Their running back Gael Rodriguez has been very strong, especially after some early hiccups. United South bounced back. They lost their district opener to United. And they took down Del Rio last week with a really good running game. That's what it's going to be up to. It's going to be up to David Gonzalez and Carlos Segovia to get that running game going for United South if they're going to get this game. Their running game's been a little bit inconsistent. If they get that going, they got an opportunity to bring home an important win that will really give us the shape of District 36A. Of course, go see our friends at TxDOT. They're at the Laredo Alexander versus Laredo United South game tomorrow night at the Student Activity Center there in United ISD. And now, a word from our partners.
Takis is the presenting sponsor of the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Sustainability Champions Award, spotlighting influential kids looking to pursue a career focused on the social, environmental, and economic well-being of our future. Be sure to check out this week's Spotlight Game of the Week, where we'll be spotlighting 2 Sustainability Champions Award winners. Thank you to Takis for your support of the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Sustainability Champions Award. For more information, visit texasfootball.com. Dave Campbell's Texas Football has partnered with the North Texas Honda dealers to honor community helpers from across North Texas. Texas is fortunate to have so many great individuals that give back to their community in so many different ways. Thanks to the support of the helpful North Texas Honda dealers, we have an opportunity to shine a light on a few very deserving individuals. Congratulations to this week's recipients of the Helpful Honda Community Helper Award, and thank you for being helpful in your community. For more information, visit texasfootball.com.
I need to share a text I just got.
So good.
I need to share a text I got from Kendall Brewer. He just texted me. He goes, "Sorry I couldn't help more with Brock versus Paradise."
Certified good dude. Kendall Brewer.
All right. All due respect to John King. Go McKinney North.
That's so good. Oh, that's so good.
Oh, one last thing to do today, Pickle, and that's to get to the picks. My high school football predictions for Week 9 of the Texas high school football season. Here they are, the picks on Texas Football Today.
3 weeks to go until the Texas high school football playoffs, and there is everything on the line in Week 9. These are the picks. Welcome into the Picks, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel that chill in the air, right? It's actually kind of cold outside, and that means that Texas high school football is entering the home stretch of the regular season. Just 3 weeks left until we unveil the brackets on TexasFootball.com to see who's in, who's out, who's playing where, and who's got the best path to AT&T Stadium. And make no mistake, this week, in Week 9, a loaded slate of games across the state, those paths are going to be forged. Those roads are going to be paved, and some of these teams, their season's going to be over. Huge games everywhere you look. We start in Southeast Texas. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Tiger Stadium in Silsbee. It is a state-ranked matchup of unbeatens in 4A as the Hampshire Finette Longhorns visit the Silsbee Tigers. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, talk about Draylon Miller, the wide receiver for Silsbee. The 5-star Texas A&M commit is worth the price of admission alone. This kid is an absolute menace out there on the football field and one of the most polished receivers we've seen in the state of Texas in quite some time. This guy is unbelievable what he's able to do on the football field. Now, he's far from alone, right? Ashton Cartwright, their wide receiver, has been fantastic. Michael Moshier, their quarterback, has been excellent. And I really like Trey Kibbles, the running back they've got as well. This is a balanced team with a lot of different weapons, but let's be honest about who the star of this show is. It is Draylon Miller. And in a superstar game, can the superstar for the Tigers step up in a big way? Key number 2, the Longhorns Super Juniors. So Hampshire Finette, undefeated, state-ranked, looking fantastic, and you can make a real argument that this team is a year early because their entire offensive core is comprised of juniors. Quarterback Ty Bryson has been really fantastic. The running back Chris Augustine is a star in the making, and I really like this playmaker on the outside, Braxton Starnes. They have playmakers all over the field, and they're all pretty young. They're all underclassmen. They're all going to be back in another year. Now, you'd love to have a senior-laden team, right? But at the same time, their moment is right now. Forget next year. This is the moment for Hampshire Finette, an opportunity to go on the road and knock off an undefeated state-ranked Silsbee squad. Can these underclassmen come up big for the Longhorns? And key number 3, defensive splash plays. So we've talked a lot about the offenses, right? Silsbee, all their playmakers they've got. Hampshire Finette, this young core that's really exciting for the Longhorns. But the real secret for both these teams is that their defenses have been outstanding all year long, and it's because they make big plays at the critical moment. Hampshire Finette has been outstanding up front, led by Drew Pritchard. They've got 74 tackles for loss and 19 sacks on the year. Yes, they are serious about getting after you in the backfield. On the other side, this Silsbee defense, led by Pablo Lorenzi, has been excellent ball hawks. 13 interceptions on the season for the Tigers. These two teams have big explosive playmakers, but they also have explosive defenses that can change the game on a dime. So, which of these defenses can come up with that big play that's going to change the course of the game? Who am I picking? I'm going with Silsbee. The Tigers get the nod here for a couple of reasons. One, they have the single individual best playmaker on the field. That's Draylen Miller, and when in doubt, throw it to number 1. Not to mention Ashton Cartwright and a fantastic wide receiver himself, and Trey Kibbles, their running back, has been excellent as well. I think that offensive balance is going to be very good. Their defense makes plays, and they're going to be very hard for Hampshire Finette, I think, to move the ball consistently, even with the big-time playmakers that they've got. And this Ty Bryson, their quarterback, is serious business, so it should make for a really fun matchup. The biggest reason I like Silsbee, though, is that they have owned the series against Hampshire Finette. They're 12-1 in their last 13, including winners of their last 11 against the Longhorns. So history is on the side of the Tigers. Now, Hampshire Finette doesn't care about that, and they've got plenty of reason to believe that they can come up with this win, including their defense. I think Drew Pritchard is a real X factor for this Hampshire Finette defense. That said, I'm going with the home team. I'm going with the undefeated Tigers. Give me Silsbee. Let's bounce back up to North Texas, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Eagle Stadium in Brock. It is a state-ranked matchup in 3A as the Brock Eagles take on the Paradise Panthers. This feels like deja vu all over again. Feels like we did this exact same thing last year, and it turned out to be a pretty darn good ball game. I hope we get another one this time around. Brock ran through a brutal non-district schedule, came out 1-3, but once they've gotten into district play, it has been incredible to see the Brock machine get online. They have beaten their 3 district opponents by a combined margin of 202-3. Yeah, quarterback Brody Woods has settled into the offense, and Brett Tudor, their running back, is running really strong, plus defense. Yeah, that's what Brock does. On the other side, this Paradise team, once again 8-0 entering the Brock game and feeling like this could be the year, especially their defense has been lights out, allowing just 6 points per game, and quarterback Austin Iglesias has really grown as a quarterback. Now, this is on the road at Brock, which I think is a challenge for Paradise. The other thing is, I'm not sure how battle-tested Paradise is. I know how battle-tested Brock is. And in a close game like this, I think that matters. I think the Eagles come away with a narrow win. Let's go to 2A, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Warrior Stadium in Honey Grove. It is a matchup for district supremacy as the Cooper Bulldogs visit the Honey Grove Warriors. Honey Grove is the most interesting team in Texas high school football. Fight me on that. They are absolutely fascinating. Coach Shane Fletcher's ball club has the motto of no punts, no points. And up until last week, they had lived up to that. Through 6 games, except for the field goal that Quinlan Bowles kicked last week, they have not been scored upon. They also have not punted. They've outscored their opponents 320-3 through the first 6 games. Absolutely dominant performances from this Honey Grove team. The running game with Rylan Morris and Dion Morris has been absolutely fantastic. And their defense, I mean, they've given up 3 points in 6 games. What do you want? But here's the big test, because Cooper is coming to town. State-ranked Bulldogs are for real, and they have been on a heater offensively of late. Markel Smith, their running back, has been fantastic. Cannon Ingram, the quarterback, they're starting to really let him loose, and it has been very dangerous. Cooper's battle tested. We know the wars they've been through. Honeygrove, I do not think has seen a team like Cooper. They're still a mystery to me. Now, they could come out and win this game, but right now I have to go to the team with the better resume. Even with the gaudy numbers that you're seeing Honeygrove put up, I think Cooper is the team to beat in this one. Give me the Bulldogs. And let's go to the Rio Grande Valley, 7 o'clock Thursday night at PSJA Stadium in Pharr. It's a matchup of unbeatens between the... That can't be right. Matchup of unbeatens between PSJA Memorial and Roma? What? Believe it. These two teams have been on an absolute heater to start the year. Teams we picked to finish 4th and 5th in their district. Oops, they have had other ideas, and it's been because of the running game for both of them. Emiliano Kalunga leads this outstanding rushing attack for PSJA Memorial, which has really reinvented their offense to be a more ground and pound attack, and their defense has been pretty darn solid as well. For Roma, the slot T attack has been excellent. They have a bell cow back in Isaac Lozano, who is putting up crazy numbers each and every week. He's almost at 190 yards per game. He has been a lot of fun to watch. So what gives in this Thursday night matchup of unbeatens? I think you got to go with the team that has the better defense. I think that's PSJA Memorial, and I think being at home is going to help as well. I think PSJA Memorial stays unbeaten. But those are far from the only big games in Week 9 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. Big test in Central Texas. I think Franklin passes it with a win over Lorena. The game of the year in Corpus Christi. I like Corpus Christi Miller in a close one over Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. And way out west in El Paso, I'm going with Canutillo over El Paso Chapin. Cy Falls knocks Cy Springs from the ranks of the unbeaten. I'm going with Chilton to get by Granger. And Alito's unbelievable district winning streak rolls on. They beat Denton Ryan. I like Beckville over Frankston. Give me Klein Collins to keep rolling with a win over Klein Kane. And did I mention it's a big week in El Paso? I like Eastwood over Montwood. I'm going with Graham over Sweetwater. It's the GOAT game in the Panhandle. I like Canyon over Canyon Randall. And in San Antonio, give me Burbank over Harlandale. Out east, I like Kilgore over Athens. In Central Texas, I think Mason keeps rolling with a win over Junction. And did I mention it's a big week in El Paso? I like Pebble Hills over Franklin. Give me Salina over Dallas Carter. Bracketville gets by Rock Springs. And down in San Antonio, I like Harlan over John Jay in a matchup of unbeatens. Some coin flip games here. I like Grandview in a close one over West. I like Jasper just barely over West Orange Stark. And give me Brownwood over Lubbock Estacado. Huge district showdown in 5-4A Division 1. I like China Spring over Stephenville. Huge showdown in the Little Southwest Conference. I like Midland over Odessa. And huge showdown in District 21-6A. I like Atascocita over C.E. King. It's the Kraut Bowl. I like Munster over Lindsay. Give me San Antonio Davenport over Lampasas. And how about Montgomery Lake Creek over Huntsville? One of the great rivalries in Texas high school football. I think San Benito beats Harlingen in the Battle of the Arroyo. Give me Seymour to take down Haskell. And Refugio beats Shiner. Smithson Valley gets by Bernie Champion. Sunray takes down Groover. And I'm going with PSJA North to stay perfect with a win over McAllen Memorial. Sneaky game out east. I like Troop over West Rusk. Give me Wimberley to take down Geronimo Navarro. And keep an eye on this one, but I think Lake Travis squeaks by Dripping Springs. Longview all but clinches the district championship with a win over McKinney North. Give me Albany to stay perfect with a win over Roscoe. And I'm going with Edna to take down Goliad. Huge game in the Brazos Valley. I like College Station over Georgetown. Give me Odessa Permian to stay hot with a win over Wolfforth Friendship. And it's our first real big test for Carthage since week 1. I think the Bulldogs take down Center. Give me Idalou over Lubbock Roosevelt. Allen stays hot with a win over Denton Geyer. And in our 6-man game of the week, it's a good one. I like Miami over Follett. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy week 9 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.
There it is, the picks, my high school football predictions for week 9 of the Texas high school football season. Per usual, guarantee I got at least one of those right. I've gotten at least one of those right every time I've done the picks video. It's true. It's one of the greatest streaks. Many people, big, strong men coming up to me and saying, Tepper, I can't believe the streak that you've got of getting at least one high school football prediction right.
Uh-huh.
They're crying. They're just,
Yep. Full-fledged cheers.
Full-fledged cheers. Anyway, go check that out. You can see that on YouTube as well. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Coming up at 2 o'clock today, WTF Women Talking Football. Mallory Hartley and I telling you our spotlight games for Week 9 of Texas football tonight.
Yeah.
And then we'll be talking some Big Country and Wichita Falls area.
Nice.
So
Do you have a
excited.
guest?
Yeah, we do. Robin Hearn,
right.
which I'm sure is fresh off of disappointment from that game yesterday.
Yeah.
So we'll have. I know she was there, so we'll have to ask.
Yeah.
She also has,
because her brother.
some personal ties.
If you don't know, her brother. This is sad. I think her brother got designated for assignment. I'm not sure where he is right now, but he was pitching for the Rangers and stuff like that. He's now with the Royals. He got picked up by the Royals.
Yep.
So, but yeah, former Ranger great Taylor Hearn. But that's great.
We love Robin.
She's
Excited
awesome.
to talk to her.
She'll have a lot of good insights for that part of the world as well. So that's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to McKinney North head coach Kendall Brewer, who is decidedly not Paradise head coach Joe Koch, for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please give me your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.